What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Warcast. Every Monday we bring you the latest in video game news, talk about survival horror, machinima, and what's going on at the Ward. I'm one of your hosts, Sean Clark, alongside Jazz Rich, Alec Funnel, and Diz.
I was not expecting that.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So, let me get the real introduction done before I start talking. Welcome, everybody, to DarkAbridgerEX's Spootcast, where we talk a little bit about life, shows, /anime, games, answer some questions, and do some voice acting improv and keep you updated on what's going on. I'm your host, Dante, the DarkAbridgerEX, and today we do have a guest, and her name is...
Diz.
Nice to meet you, Diz, even though we've known each other for a while now. So, just before we start getting into all the formalities, so I just wanted to say that we do another podcast with my Resident Evil senpai, Sean Clark, and I was part of his episode 50 of his podcast, and when he was doing his introduction, which is what I just did in the beginning, I actually muted myself and said the exact same words. Of course, nobody knew because I had myself muted, because if I said it on the call, I'd sound like I'm behind him, and I didn't want to do that, so... Here it is now on the Spootcast. Shoutouts to Sean Clark, and I could just hear him going, "You bitch!" So, anyways, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's formally get to know our guest Diz just a little bit more. Diz, who are you? How'd you get involved in me? What's your relationship with me? What do you do for a living?
Alright. So, I make burgers for a living, so there's that. I draw too. Not a lot. But I do. I met you through, Sean, actually, through the Ward. You're a character in one of my things, so it's getting to me a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of the Ward, am I right?
Yeah, the Ward.
So yeah,
You play?
I'm her Billy in her The Diary of Rebecca Chambers, also known as Dork. And the voice I use is basically my Jake voice, so everything I read on her script literally just felt like Jake and Sherry all over again. So
I always confuse it and say Shake and Jerry every time.
Shake and Jerry. Jesus
every
Christ.
time. Every time. Yes.
So yeah, Diz and I met each other basically a year ago, and it feels like it's been at least 3.
Yup.
So, you know, she's my Libra and all.
Homies.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think that should be pretty much it for introductions. I didn't really have anything else. So then I said, hey, what's going on? Let's just get straight into business. Let's talk about a little bit about life. How's your year been so far?
It's all right. It's not too great, not too bad. Just kind of going.
Yeah, and is there anything like major good events that happened so far in the year?
No?
Shit!
Well, it's not bad. I just haven't had anything like super extravagant happen. That's like great. Like, oh my god. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, well, sometimes nothing happening is better than something bad happening.
Absolutely. Right. All the time. I say that all the time.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Well, on the Dante side of things, I do want to point out for anyone who's listening to this episode is originally we did have this episode with Zach, who was one of our voice actors, but we lost everything. So everything is almost like a repeat, except there's a little few additions because the time we recorded it was Tuesday and now we're recording it Friday. So there's a few updates on what I originally talked about. So that's just a little disclaimer. But now we're going to talk about life since last month, and then since my last time recording a few days later. So, let's see. first note is we're talking about classes. So when I started the Spoodcast, I thought classes had started, and then I came to find out it didn't. It started the next week, and so it did. And so my first class was biology, and I came in. My teacher that I thought was my teacher, oh, but it wasn't my teacher. But then came in my real teacher, and I was just like, okay. But then she talked. Every little thing she does was magic. And then next thing you know, the police don't stand so close to me was blaring in my ears because this tiny little biology professor of mine is the cutest thing on the fucking planet. Holy shit. I watched her jump to erase my fucking shit-eating grin face or my little ooh face off the board. It was the best thing on the planet. And, yeah, it's been alright so far. I'm a little mixed on how I feel about the class, just because, like, I don't know, maybe I'm used to taking online classes where there's, a lot of independent study and a very streamlined way of learning, but it's set up like this. Class lectures are class lectures, because this isn't an online class. You just do some of your homework on this thing called Canvas, or Mastering Biology, and that's where some of her homework is. Excuse me, I burped very quietly. So that's what would happen, right? You go in there, but you can buy either the physical textbook or you just go on the Mastering Biology website and you buy it there. It costs way cheaper to go online. You don't get a book exactly, which is weird. So what you do is you go on this module thing and you answer these questions, and if you get it, you get it. Great. If you don't, then they'll teach you later. And that's how they teach you. And it's kind of fucking weird. So I...
That sounds weird.
Yeah, so I would take notes every time I got something wrong. Like, I copy and paste it onto, a Microsoft Word, and that would be my textbook, quote-unquote textbook. And, I don't know, I'm kind of mailing it, but the actual homework is still, the same shit, multiple choice questions, and they'll teach you some shit. I assume you still need to do, the textbook, quote-unquote textbook work. It's really confusing. I don't think I understand it too well. And then on the Canvas thing, they'll still provide you videos to watch for extra learning and shit. And I don't know. It's really weird to me. So far the class, atmosphere-wise, there was the first people I met. We had to do, she really emphasizes doing a lot of group work. And the people I was grouped up with, I did not like them at all. This one dude was too cool for school. I introduced myself hey guys, I'm El Dante, the L is optional. And the fucker just looked at me blank face, just wow, seriously? You didn't even chuckle or anything about cheesiness? You're too fucking cool for school? Well, fuck you too, bro.
He's a robot.
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
He's a robot.
I don't like him at all. He's jock as fuck. Cause he was originally going to sit next to me, or a seat next to me, because I gave him a glare. I gave everyone a fucking glare who tried to sit next to me. But then he saw one of his friends from his circle, and then he sat next to her, and that was in front of me, and that's how that happened. And I'm just bruh. It was so bad, because it was we did our group introduction, that was that, and then he turned his chair around. And then when we had to do a group question together, he didn't turn his chair around at all. He just looked at his partner, his friend or whatever, and then he would turn back. He's did you figure it out? I'm oh, is that what we're doing? And then he turned right back and never came back to me for the rest of the day. And I was just bruh, I do not like you at all. So there was that. And then the fucking second day of that class, I was a little late because I didn't realize it was 2 o'clock already, and I should have been in bed by 2 o'clock or earlier. And so I come to class late, and they're fucking sitting at my spot. And I gave them the fucking glare whenever I looked in their direction, because I was on the other side of the classroom, still at the back, because I like sitting at the back. I don't like having my back to people. So, I made it very clear. And then my teacher was if you don't want to be paired up with anyone, because right now all you're going to get paired up with people you're sitting nearby, but later on I'll assign you groups. I told her, I don't want to get paired with this guy. I do not like him. I don't want to be paired with him. That was great. So the next day in class, I get my corner, and he's on the opposite side. I'm good. And then, there's these other people that are way chiller and better about everything, it was cool. But I don't know, I just feel a little disconnected because I'm older and they're younger, and I guess, I'm too unique. I'm just too good for this world, and they just don't really see my appeal, whatever. I could tell when...
You just stab them.
Yeah.
That's my solution to everything.
Well, I can't just stab everyone, especially some of the people that I crushed on. But,
You know what? You're right. I understand.
I crushed on some of these people, but it's like, I know, like, nothing's gonna happen because, I'm polygamous. So I know, like, I've just killed at least half the population of who I could possibly go out with and all that shit. And, I could tell when someone starts, like, when they don't want to talk, but they're still going to respond to you and acknowledge your existence, but as soon as they get the chance, they'll turn around kind of thing. And I was kind of getting some of that response with this one girl, and I'm just like, okay. But then there's, like, this other one, but I know she's taken, so she's just being friendly, and I just get along. But, fuck, whatever, man. We're coffee buddies, at least. So... There was all that going on. The first exam just happened Monday, and fuck me, man. We're supposed to have a Scantron, and I was telling myself, all right, we're gonna go eventually get a Scantron, but I don't fucking do that until the day of the test. So I'm already hustling to class because I'm a little late, and then, or not a little late, I was just right on time, but then I didn't have my Scantron, so I put my book down, or my bags down, and our school is on like a hill. Not like a hill, but like, it's really big. It's a really big community college. And I had to run down this fucking hill. I'm now sweating to death. I'm dressed to the nines. I'm dressed like old school Dante. Which, for the reference, guys, that's a button shirt and a tie and a sports coat. I don't wear those anymore. I wear fur coats and dragon shirts because I'm all like fucking rebellious and shit. So
you're a bad bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So I run all the way to the bookstore to get. I grabbed as many Scantrons as I saw, and apparently that was 9. And I'm already sweating to death, dude. And it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. It was probably like 70 degrees out there, and I'm just already sweating like I was standing in 90-degree weather for like 5 seconds. So. Then I'm trying to run back up the hill, and the hill to the science building is steep, so I stop midway to breathe, because I'm like, like I'm literally losing my breath here. And then, by the time I sit down, I'm sweating on my fucking test! Like, I'm like, should I just get a new piece of paper from my bag, because... What if I can't bubble in the answer because I'm sweating on my fucking test?
You're bubbling it in with your sweat, bro. It's good.
Like,
it's cool.
I even stopped by the bathroom to get a paper towel and wipe myself down because I was sweating that much. I perspirate, bro. They say man's not hot. And I didn't feel too hot about the quiz at all, or exam. Like, I had a good feeling if I had studied, and like literally like the stuff that was in there was all taken care of in the workbook. Like, she has her own workbook under her name, and if I just study off that before we started, I would have been fine. But bad times, bad place, and my job is kicking my face. Nice rhyme, thanks. So then the Wednesday we got paired up into new groups, like official groups, and she fucking put El Dante. Fucking adorable. I told us, like, she asked me, is the L mandatory? He's like, no, it's optional. Oh, muy bueno, she says. I'm like, stop being so adorable. And so she puts me into group 2 with some people. I think I recognize one of the names. One of them was the girl of the mutual friend of the guy I don't like. And I notice he's in group 1. And I'm like, ugh, gross. So come Wednesday, we're supposed to get, like, assigned to our groups and all, but no one knows where to fucking sit. So she starts assigning everyone a part of the classroom, and I'm in the front, or something like that, not in the back, that's what I know, but group 1 is going to be nearby, so I'm just like, dude, that's no different than this dude being in the same group as me, and I'm just like, fuck, bro. And fucking what happens was, Group 1 should have been at the very front of the classroom. Group 2 should have probably been, like, the second row or somewhere in the middle. And Group 3 should have been closer to the back, but not entirely in the back. And then Group 4 is the back. Right?
Yeah.
So what happens is, the front row is mostly empty. Group 1 is on the second row. And because I was trying to figure out what the fuck happened, by the time I sat down, I had 2 chairs left. One chair was next to him. and the other was in front of him. So,
God.
when he gave me that same fucking deadpan look, I already knew the fuck I'm sitting next to him. I'm sitting in the front of the classroom, even if that means I'm definitely 100% not with my group because I don't know where the fuck they are. My blood was boiling. Just being in front of this guy. I hate him so much.
Jesus.
He literally looks like he doesn't give a shit about the classroom because in our lab, which we have on Wednesdays, he's like in this corner with his group and they're always talking, and the point where the professor stops and stares in their direction because they're being that rude. Like,
oh God.
he is
those people.
He's one of those guys. The other day I saw him on his laptop, like watching a video during my professor's lecture, and I'm just like, you're an asshole. I don't like you.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you fucking here?
So that's the downside so far of my biology class. Otherwise, it's interesting. The other benefit I had from being in the front of the classroom was being able, one, to read the board, because I think my vision's getting bad and I can barely read things at a distance, so my far distance vision's getting shit. Two, I could see my teacher up close. Almost said her name. I'm gonna have to remember to edit that out when I go to editing. So that's that. And then astronomy. Astronomy is just review. We meet once a week, so it's not like I'm there often. And the first day, I'm just zoning out because I'm tired as fuck, and everything my teacher is saying is just repeat. So, I'm probably gonna ace it, because like I said, the only reason I failed was because on my group discussions, I didn't respond to two of my classmates. So if I did that, I would have at least gotten to 70%, which would have been a C, and I would have been fine with a C. That means I pass. Better than a D. Fuck. So that was all of that, and so I'm getting on top of this, and people are a little running late on their discussions. So my teacher's like, yo guys, you need to make sure you do your group discussions. And what happens on the second group discussion? I thought by Tuesday when I posted my post that I was gonna be like the second or third guy. No, I'm the fucking first person to post on last week's discussion. And
what the fuck?
I'm like, I got work at Friday, so ideally I want to get all my schoolwork done by Thursday, because then my job consumes me for the weekend. And it gets to Wednesday or Thursday, and no one still said anything, so I reply to myself. I threw some shade my way. Because if there's any way I'm going to respond to myself, it's with satire and a little bit of sarcasm. And then I threw some shade, be like, the real problem is, how come nobody responded before Friday? What the fuck is going on here? In a class-appropriate version of what I just said. And my teacher was just like, you're right, I'll talk about this next class. And then some people's like, oh, I look how you replied to yourself. This was all on Friday. So by Friday, I edited my post out and was like, this was a reply to myself, but what it actually contains, nobody will know. Only the people who saw the post will know the truth. Oh, well. So my teacher brings it up, and I'm in the corner laughing my ass off, because then she gets to the point where she's like, yeah, there was at one point where a student responded to himself, and I'm just like,
oh my god.
And so she changed the due date to make your original post by Thursday, but you still need to respond to someone by Sunday. So I was having a good old time, and she just looked at me as like, you all right there? You seem to be laughing a bit over there. I was like, no, I'm just having a good day. At the end of the class, someone asked, so I can't respond to myself, right? And she's like, yes, you can't do that. And I'm just like, wow, that student who responded to himself, who the hell would do that? That guy sounds like an asshole.
That's awesome.
My teacher was losing her shit. She probably, I thought she never liked me, I thought she didn't think I was funny, but apparently she does. So, yeah, she did. So then there's my class crushes for that class too. This one sits next to me and she's feisty as fuck. Like
Oh my god.
Normally, some people would be annoyed, but I think it's fucking adorable. So, both of my class crushes were like tiny. I don't know what's the deal with tiny people, but I guess
short girls are adorable, bro.
Maybe I just need to pick them up and swing them around a bit. I don't know, but so this one, we get paired up because she's sitting right next to me, right? And then this other person in front of us, we're gonna call the crush person A, and then the other person B, for the sake of pronouns. So, person A is sitting next to me, and we're doing like this thing called voting questions, where you like lift up a card, A, B, C, or D, or E, where you vote as a class to see if you get the shit, and if you don't, you'll discuss with your classmates. And I was convinced it was one letter, and she had her answer, which was the answer, but I convinced her otherwise, because I'm like, well, if it's gonna be this, it's gonna be this. And then my teacher said, nope, that wasn't it. And so person A goes, ha! It was what I originally said. I was right, and you were wrong. I'm just like, oh my god, you're this girl. Wow. So later on, we get grouped, and because I've already taken this class, I've already seen everything that needs to happen. Like, I found out I didn't have to buy a new workbook. I just have to write everything on, like, my notepad, like, line notes or whatever. So, I saved myself $40 fucking dollars. And just write all my shit there. So I look at my answers. So basically, since I know everything, it's like, I look at my answers to see if I agree with it or not. And if I do, I'm just copying off my workbook. If I don't, I'll write the new answers on my notebook. And so I'm going through this while person A and B are getting set up. And she's like, have you already did this ahead? I was like, no, I've taken this class before. So, this is from 6 or 7 months ago. So I'm doing this, and at one point she's like, stop it, this is a group activity. I'm just like, okay. Like, so we're doing some questions, and we're getting through it, and I guess I'm moving, my mouth moves faster than she writes. She's like, stop it, I'm still writing, I write slow, I'm blind. She needs glasses or something. So I'm just like, okay. So at one point we're at this part where there's like label the stars with ER, like right north high or south low, and I'm just writing through it, and she's like, stop it. I'm like, okay. I pull out my phone to like pull out the lighter app and smoke. She's like, you're pulling out your phone? Put away your phone. I'm just like, jeez. And at one point, she didn't like, so we get this group work paper where we're supposed to write one question that stumped us. And it's really hard to do because we kind of know what we need to write, or nothing really challenged us, or nothing's really going to challenge me. So we were just like, well, let's just use this question that involves like student 1 and student 2, where they argue against each other, and you're supposed to be like, which one is right, which one is wrong. And usually because we have to like think for a little, we just use that for our group question thing. So she didn't like what I was saying, so she goes to person B. And person B's kind of not there. In contrast, she's a lot more chill. It almost seems like she's on her own, like, universe. Like, she seems like one of those socially awkward types, but, like,
oh, yeah.
But I'm still cool with, kind of thing. So, I call out her name, and person A is like, that's not my name. My name is na-na-na-na-na. And I'm just like, Babs, by the end of this class, I know your name, and I'm never gonna forget it. So... I thought that was it. I was never going to see her again. She still sits in the same spot of class, but at that time, there was a guy right next to me. But what fucking happens? She literally walked over the guy. She could have been paired up with that guy, or that guy could have been paired up with me, and then I would have been paired up with person B, but she sat right next to me and made sure we still had our trio for our group work. And I was just like... Really? I never thought I'd see you again. Because you're feisty. He's like, yeah, I am. She knows she's feisty! Fuck! And she was like, getting all feisty earlier, because she's like, you almost ran me over! Because earlier, I had a job interview, which is why I was dressed in a 9. So that was the same day I ran down the hill for my fucking exam.
Oh, God.
And so after the exam, I went to go get my job interview, and I'll get back to that later. And then I came back to the campus, and it's like 10 minutes before class, and I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm not gonna make the next few hours without food. So, the science building, that's where my astronomy class is. It's the same part of the building. And the cafeteria is like right near the bookstore. So I run down the hill again. and I'm looking around to see what I can get because the cafeteria is closing up. I grab a corn dog, buy it, and I'm back running up the fucking campus again. And at one point, I do see her because I literally recognize her from a distance. And I almost wanted to say hi, her name goes here, and then bye as I jump up the stairs, but I didn't. But, I don't know, it was a fun class. I gave her praise for, like, I admire you for still sitting next to me after everything that happened Monday.
Short girls are feisty. They really are. Speaking as a short girl, like, I literally want to fight everyone over everything.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's adorable just because that's probably my sadist and tall guy speaking, so... Yeah. That's my fucking classes so far, guys. It's a fucking adventure. I'm also getting... Since the last Spoodcast, I also got involved in this film. Now, have any of you guys ever seen, the Netflix show Black Mirror?
I've heard of it.
It's a rhetorical question for everyone else, but Diz, you're free to answer. So there's this... The show tackles, like... I don't know, it tackles, like, concepts and makes it, really surreal for real. For example, the only episode of Black Mirror I saw, which was from my cousin, was this one about, like, dating simulators. Like, the dating apps, how they calculate it, whether you're a compatibility with someone. It shows, like, a really surreal for real concept of it. Like, there's a whole virtual simulator with the people in there and their data and all that shit. And what happens is, in the simulator... They get like this little ball to meet somebody, and they go meet them, and then they look at this device which shows them when they expire, like how long they'll last, and they just keep going through until they find the perfect match, right? So the concept was these two people who met at first, they really felt like they connected, but their date was so short, and then they see a bunch of other people, and then they come back, and they agree not to look at their expiration date, and then, they start, like, really having it, but then the guy looks at the expiration date, and then he fucks it up, and, shit goes haywire. But then they're like, fuck this, rebel against the system, I want to be with her. And, that was basically one simulation out of all the others. So basically 99% of every other simulation like that played out the exact same way, and that's how their compatibility was formed. So then the episode ends by showing the actual real world of the app and the two people meeting. And I was just like, whoa.
Holy shit.
So it tackles surreal for real shit like that. So this episode was called Bandersnatch, which was centering around the concept of making a movie based off your personality. And so I have this son of mine from the future. His name is Jake, and he kind of looks like me. And people got us confused in high school. And he's got one of the names I would have given my sons, so he's my son from the future, like I said.
Nice.
He's in, like, this UC, and he's doing a theory or something like that, a thesis, something amongst those words, and he's making his own, like, Bandersnatch app. Like, he's, gonna make a movie based off of personality. He's programming it, he's filming it, he's directing it, and because of one actor who had to, not be part of the film because he had bad hospitalization diarrhea.
Ooh.
I filled in for him. So the movie is called Pickpocket. That's not like the official title. They're still working on it, and hopefully they figure something out before they end up calling it Pickpocket for reals. It's about this guy, Aiden, who pickpockets phones and looks through people's photos to see their life because he's a voyeur like that. He finds it more interesting than his own life. And one day, him and his buddy Nat do this pickpocketing. I play as Nat. One day they pickpocket the wrong guy's phone. Now, he's trying to kill them.
Oh my god!
Yes! So, I play as Nat. So, because it's a movie that forms off your personality, there's like multiple versions of the movie. In one version of the movie, I smoke weed. I dress like myself with a dragon shirt and my fur coat. I smoke weed. In the other version, I still dress the same, but I praise Jesus. Mm-hmm. To quote Zach from our original Spoodcast, we Weezus. We praise Weezus.
Family values here.
Yep.
I see.
So that's why that one time on our Discord server, I found that one song, Jesus is the One, Yo R.I.P. Betty White.
Yes!
I
fucking love that song.
It felt like Nat's theme, like a combination of both versions in one. Because I'm just like, whoa, bro, why weren't we playing this when we were setting up? So
beautiful. The
first night I had to like do my shot. It didn't really go too hot. Wow, nice rhyming. Cause
perfect.
In the scene that I was filming, I'm at my apartment, I'm smoking weed or praying to Jesus, depending on which version, and then I get called by Aiden, and he's like, yo, bro, we gotta watch out. And then I'm just like, bro, I'm busy right now. And then some of the thugs come in my apartment, and I get some smoke up in my house, and I escape, or grab the guys and kill them. Or take him out. Doesn't really specify. All Jake had me do was grab them by the shoulder and yank them off camera. So
I assume murder, always.
Right? Because, Nat don't take no shit, bro. So the problem was he couldn't get his smoke screen on. So it was just like, so we refilmed it later, a few weeks ago, closer to my place, because his was like an hour away or whatever. But God. Yeah. It was interesting because that time I got to film it with the Aiden actor. So we did a scene where we tried to bury the phone under the ground, and then Aiden's trying to stop me, and we have a little quote unquote choreographed fight over the shovel.
I think you sent pictures of that in the Discord.
I did. I sent a picture where I almost get hit by a shovel.
Oh, I remember seeing that one.
Yeah. And funny enough, or graciously enough, he was wearing blue and I'm wearing red, so we not only have we're this guy and that guy, we have contrasting colors. I love that shit.
Beautiful.
So our choreographed shovel fight was just us pushing the shovel around, like we're just pushing each other with the shovel. And at one point, Jake had a still shot, static camera in one spot, and we just fucking walked off frame. Oh, it looked so good when we saw it. I was just like, damn, that's cinematography gold right there. But yeah, beautiful. So we had some of that, and we had a moment of free improv where we're laying against the tree. We're all done from the fight, and I'm just like, when everything's over, I don't want to see your face again. And he told me, I'll never call you. And then I said, you'll never have a phone to call me with. Just like, damn. So
perfect.
Yeah, and then then we bury the phone, and then he's like, any last words? And then originally the script was the end, but then he's like, get a little creative, dude, say whatever you want. All right, no callbacks. I don't remember the other one I said, but it was a good one. It was another phone joke. Yeah, it's
beautiful.
So then our next scene was in the apartment, and I ask him why he does the filming and all, while I pretend to type on a laptop, and then I get the phones to walk out with, and there's two versions of this scene, one with the weed and one with the Jesus, and while we were doing the weed one, I'm supposed to unlock the door, right? Unlock it, then twist the door open, and then leave, right? But what do I fucking do? I immediately grab the handle, notice the door isn't opening, I'm like, fuck, I have to unlock the door first. So while I'm still trying to look serious as fuck, I quickly adjust myself, and Jake's just like, that was in character, keep doing that. So I'm like, great. Weed version. Meanwhile, when I leave, I say, itada bye, or iteki bye, because it's a Japanese thing. So there's that, and then we refilmed my scene. We refilmed my original scene. So Nat on the weed version has a Korean barbecue grill thing, and I have a piece of meat on there. And I'm taking what is quote unquote weed, and I weed bay it. I take a whiff. Oh yeah. And then I weed bay it, do that salt bay shit, and then I get called from Aiden. I'm just like, I'm busy. I literally say it, I'm busy. I look at my thing, and then the guys bust in, and then meanwhile And then when the guys come in, I grab like a cup of water and I splash that on the fucking, barbecue. And that's what causes the smoke for me to escape. Totally, right? And behind me are like a bunch of like fucking, there's like Bob Marley and Seth Rogen and fucking Harold and Kumar. A lot of weed references.
Oh my god.
So then the Christian version happens, and fucking Jake is losing his shit. He's got, like, this Nicolas Cage picture from when he looked like Jesus and shit, and a bunch of other, like, stuff, fairly religious stuff on there. And I'm just like, why does it feel like you got more of that than the weed stuff? So, we're doing that. All I have this time, I had the grill, but this time I have a picture of Nicolas Cage, like, to grab and look at, and then I have a candle. And I just go, and I just pray, instead of just, sniffing that weed jar. Which was, by the way, it was oregano. It wasn't weed. It was oregano.
Oh my god.
So, when Aiden calls me, I grab the frame of Nicolas Cage, and then he zooms in my face, and then I go, I'm busy. And he was... He needed a few minutes because the way he did it was priceless. And then additionally, for this version, when the guys start knocking on my door, I grab the table, right? But in the fucking religious version, I do the cross like really quick. And he's like, you gotta do it really fast. Like, okay. So then I do some Naruto hands and...
Oh my god.
Yes, and then I'm like, and then what I do to cause the smoke is pour water on one candle?
Whoa.
I'm like, yeah, get a load of that Jesus jutsu, guys.
Oh my
god. But he made it worse. He made it worse. This is what he said to me. We should have made him Jewish so he could do jujitsu.
Oh no! That's beautiful.
He was having a good day.
Oh.
He was having a good day with that shit.
Beautiful.
Yep.
That's beautiful. Oh my god.
Fucking crazy. So, I'm gonna do more filming next Tuesday. Originally, we were gonna do it this Tuesday, but that was my Spookcast day, which clearly didn't matter because I lost everything anyways. But
it's okay.
But yeah, so we're gonna do some more filming then. It's gonna be excited. Apparently a car of mine's gonna fucking explode. So
beautiful.
Yep. So that was that. Other than that, there's stories of the Farringtons where I got to dance with 2 MILFs. There's this one, who kept dropping it low so much my legs were actually dying. Like, I could not...
Oh.
Like, she kept bending her knees a lot, and I'm just like, the first few times is okay, but then after a while, I'm literally dying. I can't keep doing this, my legs are dying. And then she wanted me to dance with her sister, because she was married, but, her husband didn't care, and she doesn't care, but she just wanted her sister to, to get out there. I'm just like, okay, but if only if she's fine with it. And I wasn't really feeling her sister as much, I was feeling the one that's married. But eventually, I do it. And she's like, I don't know how to dance. I'm like, look, I'm drunk. Just go with the rhythm. So we do. Next thing you know, I'm dancing with both of them. Next thing you know, there's one in the front, one in the back, and we got myself a MILF sandwich.
Oh my god.
And I'm having a good night.
Beautiful. That sounds like a great night.
And at the end
I think everybody wants a MILF sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay?
And then if you're into daddies, get a DILF sandwich. If you're that lucky. So... At the end of the night, there was this one girl who caught my eye. She looked like she worked, because I could tell she's wearing like that white button collar shirt, that says you worked there with the slacks. And I slid up, and I was like, sorry for sliding your DMs, but I just wanted to let you know you were the diamond in my sky tonight. Some shit like that. And she was like, yeah, I noticed you were dancing up there. I was like, yeah. And she's like, you come here often? I was like, oh, once a month. And we introduced each other. She told me she works at this one restaurant, and I told her I worked at this. And next time she drops by, I can get her a free milkshake. Which clearly doesn't matter anymore, because I don't think she was going to show up for 1, and then 2, we'll get to that later. But excuse me, I burped. That's 2.
Dopes.
So then there was that, and then there was just recently last week I went, and there was a new DJ, and I was kind of weird because I wasn't like, they played different stuff. I still danced to it, and they eventually had some good old like 80s hip hop disco shit that I could get down to. It was just, I don't know. There was at one point she left and she kind of just played rock, and I'm just like, I want to dance, not look at this. But I still had people that danced me. I still got my workout. And then there's these 2 girls that I slid up, and I wanted to dance with this one redhead because she was fucking bomb. But remember this, guys. The more bomb they are, the more likely things are just gonna get really fake.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep. So don't get your hopes up. Expect the worst. Because that's how this algorithm goes, unless, you're like the fucking, I don't know, the devil, like you're Lucifer or something.
Expect the worst, because that happens a lot more than the best.
Yeah, everyone wants to play fucking games and have all these stupid standards when instead of just being, just going for it.
Just chill, bro.
Both guys and girls, just to be exact, because everyone plays these stupid games. It does not need to happen.
It's true.
So I meet her, and I wanted, like, I did the usual. Sorry for sliding with your DMs. We're having a good time. They're all laughing, and I wanted to dance, but like all the shit the DJ playing is at that point was too slow for a dance. And I'm just like, that's totally understandable. So we never danced, but we Snapchatted. Like, she got my Snapchat, I got her Snapchat. I was in her story. She slipped one story into mine, and I don't think I really got her name, but I think I did because it was in her username or whatever. And, I messaged her and shit, and then, didn't take her took her less than 24 hours to fucking remove me as a friend. I'm just like, damn, oh my god. Yeah. But, I didn't care because at that night I was high off I talked to some girls. We had a good time.
Fuck it.
Yeah. I already knew when I left that building that it was not gonna go anywhere further past this night.
Yeah.
I just wish she, took a few more days before doing it, at least. But she just straight up, within less than 24 fucking hours. Fuck, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? I don't, in the long run, I don't really care. I'm just trying to have a good time. And if you're too busy trying to play games instead of having a good time, that's on you, dude.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're lost.
Get out.
I know. I'm the shit. So, y'all ain't invalidating me ever again.
Dante is the Bad Bitch Express, okay? You can't.
The Bad Bitch Express. I could be a better thought than you.
Oh, I mean...
I can be your angle, or I can be your devil.
Oh my god. I lose my shit at those every time.
Right. The last piece of update is a really important one. So, all of y'all know I worked at a burger joint. And, I've been there for 4 years now. I don't know how the fuck, but I have. And I finally got to quit it. After 4 years of putting up with this shit. Every year, or every quarter, new year, new enemy, always someone trying to start shit with me, always someone having a problem with the way I do things. There's always something going on, or maybe there's some really corrupt shit going on with our higher ups and we're all just getting blasted here. And you think to yourself, how long are you gonna put up with this shit? And the time just recently came because we were getting new owners, and we still had my general manager and my district manager still being the piece of shit they were. My district manager made my current general manager the general manager, and that was clearly a fucking mistake because this guy has the corrupted, security mentality where he's he has power but he wants to exert it even if he's fucking wrong. And then the guy lies, he gaslights. He's a very terrible person. He's starting shit just to start shit. There's no actual real justified reason for anything he's doing. He's just doing it because he wants to do it, and I don't fucking get why. But he started doing that, and then my district manager is a big enough idiot to fall for his shit and side with him. And, I got offered a new job somewhere. There's a new place that opened. I'm not specifying any names, but there's a new place that opened. The general manager saw me on one of my days, said he liked my energy, wanted to hire me. I took a little late to get back to him, because now they've been open for 2 weeks and they're pretty well staffed. But I went over there just this Monday. That was why I was dressed to the nines. I got a walk-in open interview, got hired. Dishwasher. It's a sports bar. I can say that much. I got hired, sold myself on the interview, and then I called the franchise owner at the new one and told him, hey, I quit. And that was it. I usually don't.
So proud.
I usually don't like to talk about work on the Spoodcast or anything, but there's a story to this. If shit's getting fucked up with your manager, shift manager, general manager, district manager, you don't have to stay in that place. Find another job opportunity. When you're a blue-collared worker, nothing's going to be easy. That's why you need to stay in school and get the job you want to work in a white-collar job or whatever. Unless you really want to work blue-collar jobs the rest of your life, by all means, your life decisions. But just know, you're not trapped in the job that you're working at. Look around, take the opportunity, get yourself out of there. There's no reason for you to slave away at your current spot feeling like shit. You should not wake up not wanting to go to work because of your coworkers or your manager or anything. I mean, no one wants to really go to work at the end of the day, but it should at least not be...
Some place will always treat you better.
Yeah. It shouldn't be the way it was going on for me at that point. Every weekend,
you should enjoy your work.
Yeah. I mean, when they weren't in the fucking building, I was still having a good time. But when I came to walk in and I knew they were going to be there, I was always just tense and feeling miserable, just ready for them to start new shit for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
So, just this week, when I originally recorded, I didn't know if I was really going to come work this weekend, because there was getting mixed messages. I heard from one of my close friends who reported that the GM told her dad that, the district manager was just going to see me Friday just to fire me, because the recent fight we had was I was on my 30, my rightfully earned 30, taking a nap, and the guy wanted me to go out in the line. I'm just like, no, dude, I'm taking my nap. And he calls the fucking district manager. I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? I have the right to take a 30. You should be helping them out right now. You're the one who pulled an employee back to talk about shit that didn't need to be talked about right now when there's a whole bunch of tickets out. The fuck? So, I don't know. They were being idiots. And where was I going with this? I lost track. But yeah. So then, I text the district manager because I knew he called him. I couldn't hear anything they were saying because they were talking in Spanish and all. And he was like, I'm going to see you Friday. Reset the expectations. I'm like, okay. But I already knew. It was already done by then. So, I was just like, joke's on them because I already quit. But they were giving me mixed messages. I don't know if I was actually working this weekend or not. And as you can tell, for those of you on the live stream, because we're having the Spoodcast on the live stream right now, I'm not working this weekend. I came in just to fucking pick up my check, and I knew that was going to happen. I would have preferred it if they just said, yeah, you're not working this weekend, come pick up your check and let's go. I'm like, great. That's it. So, I was just kind of just like, you guys played a dirty game the entire time. And, everything that I told you that you kept ignoring that I was right about, you're gonna fucking see for yourself. So when the shit burns, don't say I didn't tell you. I was right the entire time. That's the one thing at my job. I said everything I said because I had a point. And when the store burns, I warned you. Anyways.
I love a happy ending.
Yeah, it's good. I'm out of this bitch. I'm gonna work at this new sports bar. I'm gonna be dishwashing for now. And, it's fine. They said they'll eventually work me up to being a waiter, because, they've been open for 2 weeks. There's still people leaving and all, and, I'll get my way over there. And honestly, because I have the weekend off, I got time to work on shit. this is going to be
Nice.
my one sample weekend to try to do as much as I can and try to give like a demo of what my weekends will be like if I, got my full Patreon going and I don't work at a blue-collar job during the weekends. I'm going to try my best, but that's updates talk, so we'll get back to you on that later. Other than that, I wrote too much. I wrote too much about how my month was. There was way too much that happened in my month. That was my month! Golly! So much shit happened in 1 month, and I thought 8 months was insane. I thought 8 months was insane, but clearly,
Jeez.
my month has been eventful. I'll make sure to.
You guys always have like such eventful weeks and months, and I'm just like, yeah, I went to work. I played a game. It was cool.
Well, speaking of games, or actually, oh wait, no, it says TV shows. We'll get back to games in just a second. Wait, let me formally introduce. Let's talk about TV shows or anime. Yeah.
Woo!
It's time for the week. So, y'all may have noticed for the people who watched the first episode, the 5 people that watched episode 1. I originally said anime, but now we're saying shows because I didn't really watch any anime since last month. But first, let's ask our lovely guest Diz here, who's been patiently waiting a good 40-ish minutes probably, knowing me talk. Has there been any TV shows, anime, or movies you've watched just recently?
Actually, I've been watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters because it's on Netflix for 5 seasons, so yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Tell
Hey,
us.
Kaiba's a Libra, okay?
What?
He's a Libra.
No!
Okay?
Totally.
Yes. October 25th. Is he a Libra?
No,
October 25th?
That's Scorpio.
Shh, he's a Libra.
Sorry,
Fuck, close enough.
sorry, Diz. He's a Scorpio. That's
Close
how
enough.
this works.
I'll take it. I'll take that.
That's the
It's fine.
astrology.
He's my favorite character.
Clearly, because he's rich and he scrolls the rules because he's got money.
I just like that he's an asshole because I too am an asshole.
Wow.
That's what else have I been watching? That's it.
Really? Just
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Just recently?
Yeah, I don't really watch a whole lot of stuff. I mean, what I've most recently watched besides Yu-Gi-Oh! Was Slasher, which is a Netflix series. It's fucking amazing. You have to watch it. It's amazing.
Nothing else you want to tell us about that one? That's not spoiler territory, I guess.
This isn't spoiler territory. There's only 3 seasons so far because season 3 just came out. And each season is a different story. So no matter what season you jump into, you're not missing anything.
And it's just like about slasher, like a horror slasher, but in TV series?
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
They each have their own little stories and they go about it, and it's pretty fucking cool. Like, it had me on my seat. And that doesn't happen. Like, with horror stuff, I'm just like, oh, that's funny. Seriously, like, if I watch horror shows or horror movies, I just think it's funny because I don't get to immerse myself as much as horror game. No, does that make sense?
Unlike Until Dawn?
Yeah.
Did you think Until Dawn was funny?
A little bit.
Oh my god.
Just a little bit. Why do you think Darn exists?
Right.
But pretty much, yeah, I watched Spider-Verse again for the 7th time.
Well, Spider-Verse
So, yeah.
is pretty good. Hey, but
It's
you know
really
what they
good.
say, 7th time's the charm.
Exactly. That's pretty much all I've been watching.
All right. I've been rewatching just recently since version A of Spookcast episode 2. I was just rewatching Death Note because on YouTube they showed like some like analysts videos about like Light Yagami's laugh and the importance of it and how it's criminally underrated. And that really like opened perspective to me, and it made me want to watch the show again. And this time, like when I originally watched it, I was like in 7th or 8th grade. and I don't think I really had like the real like proper mentality to enjoy it for what it was, because I was not really the most smartest kid back in the day. I was still like socially inept, so I think it's refreshing.
Right. I'm still that way.
So it's a little refreshing rewatching again with like a new set of eyes, even though now I already know what happens. It's, you know, it's still refreshing to rewatch it again. And I've been watching it in English still, because I really think the English dub is one of the few English dubs that actually were decent for an anime dub. And the Netflix has the option to have it, like, you can still watch it in Japanese with subtitles if you want, so it's not like you can't. So there's only like a few times I'll switch to Japanese just to rewatch a scene and see how they originally delivered it, see if the English sounds better or if it makes sense or not.
Wait, hold on. Death Note's on fucking Netflix? I know what I'm doing.
Apparently Death Note is on Netflix. And, yeah, speaking of Netflix, so there's this time of the month at work where we had corporate come into our store every day. One of the guys liked me so much, he gave me his Netflix account. That's why I was able to watch Death Note on Netflix. And the shows that I originally talked about on episode 2, I got to watch the show Lucifer, season 4, which was only on Netflix because it was originally a Fox show for the first 3 seasons. And then Netflix picked up a season 4, and it kind of ended the show.
I wanted to watch that. I wanted to watch that.
I mean, it's never too late because it's on Netflix. So I guess I won't talk about spoilers today. Because usually I'll talk about spoilers without hesitation. I guess I'll change everything up when I have a guest or whatever. But there's usually a timestamp blank and all that jazz, but, you know, not today. So Lucifer season 4 feels like the conclusion we needed. Whether we agreed on that conclusion is subjective, but it wrapped up the series. I briefly talked about this in Sean's podcast or whatever. But,
oh, yeah.
Because season 3 ended on a stupid note. Like, the penultimate episode was the actual episode, and then the last episode did not continue off that last episode, or previous episode. It did a whole
irritating
alternate universe. What if Lucifer never met the detective? All this stupid shit.
That's fucking irritating. Oh my god.
And that was the end of Fox's contract with Lucifer. So for people who didn't have a Netflix and didn't know it was being continued on Netflix, you were left with an ending that kind of sucked.
So they're just an asshole? Wow, okay.
Well, it was still entertaining and all, but in terms of the fact that it was the season fucking finale,
that's like a kick in the dick.
Exactly. So when season 4 happened, you know, it was refreshing to see, like, you know, everything's being picked up from there. Everything that was, like, left by season 3. There was a lot of feels I had for this season. And then the way the show ended really just made me go, like, oh man.
Oh.
Which, you know, to get back to an earlier point that was made back in my previous discussion about it, you know, if it's gonna end, let it end. So that way it's like, you know, it doesn't beat a dead horse. Otherwise, you turn into Family Guy, who's become like a fucking gravestone of whatever the fuck.
Is that still relevant? Is Family Guy still relevant?
Apparently, it was on my YouTube subscriptions earlier about, like, the fucking Family Guy cutaways. So, yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I didn't even know it was still relevant.
Apparently. But, yeah, so that was Lucifer. And then the movie I got to watch, the first thing I actually watched on Netflix was the Invader Sim movie, Enter the Florpus. That was a really, really entertaining movie. It was still, like, it still had all the show's charm, and I was, like, giggling my ass off at, like, late night. I think I was rendering GM18 Episode 8 during that time, so while I was waiting for it to render, I was watching Invader Zim movie, and it was a joy to watch. There was one part my friend Saki warned me about that. It was like, hey, this one part, it's gonna make you in particular feel. Not many other people, just you. I'm just like, great. What's that gonna be? And then I'm watching, and I see, like, Dib is talking about his dad not acknowledging him and his alien stuff. I'm just like, oh no. And then there came a part where he was like, I just want you to be proud of me. And he's like, son, I've always been proud of you.
Oh my god.
I had fucking feels up the fucking wazoo, and I'm just like, no, Saki, you bastard! How dare you prey on my insecurities and fucking make me feel.
Jeez.
Other than that, the other key thing that I have in my notes was Leprechaun Cat. There was this...
I'm sorry?
So Zim is trying to like have this ultimate doomsday plan, and he forgets what phase 2 was. So he's brainstorming with Gur, and at one point there's a fucking leprechaun cat, and it's the most adorable and cheesy, stupid thing in the planet. And I loved it because he shows up later again while Dib's chasing Zim, and Leprechaun Cat shows up, and Dib, as if like he's used to Leprechaun Cat, is just like, no, Leprechaun Cat, no! And I'm just like, I fucking love this. That's about as much as I'm going to be able to talk about Zim without spoiling it for anyone else.
I had a huge Invader Zim phase. It was disgusting.
Me too, really. Zim was one of my favorite childhood cartoons that I didn't really get to see too much of because I think it stopped showing around that time or whatever. So like when it was around, I was just like, Zim! It's good mindless entertainment. So that should wrap it up on our TV shows anime talk. Diz fucking watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Up in this bitch.
Hey, not only did I watch Yu-Gi-Oh!, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With my brother while watching Yu-Gi-Oh! So...
I mean, not gonna lie, that's what I used to do back in my fucking 4th grade!
We do. Okay, listen.
Yes, I'm listening. You're playing a children's card game while watching a children's card game as a 21 or 22-year-old?
23, actually, turning 24.
We're not that far
That didn't make it
apart.
any better, but that's fine.
What the fuck? I thought you're hella younger than me. What the fuck? Okay.
No. I think we're the same age, yeah? Yeah? Right now?
No. Wait, what
For
day?
now?
What day in October?
20th for me.
Oh, sorry. No, you're gonna be like a year behind.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm a little low, as you can tell from my multiple misunderstandings of your birthday.
Clearly! On an unrelated note, Diz has thought my birthday was on the 5th, the 20th, and anything but the 15th. By the way, guys, in case you didn't know, my birthday is on October 15th. My birthday is on October 15th.
1st, the 5th, the 19th, the 23rd. I think it was 23rd, because I mixed it around as well. So, like, 4 different dates that weren't the actual one.
She still remembers which dates it was.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, let's talk about video games.
Ooh.
What do you like to do in your spare time? Fucking video games. So, I only have one game that I really want to talk about to avoid like doing the last episode where I went through a bunch of games and briefly talked about them, and then some of them that I mentioned last episode I never actually got back to in that episode. For example, House of the Dead, Scarlet Dawn, I mentioned it and I said I'd talk about it later, and then I never talked about it later. Oops. But no.
There was a whole wardcast where I said we'll talk later, and then we never talked later about anything.
Yep. So, Diz, tell me about maybe one game that has been a major highlight for you that you played recently.
I would have to say Life is Strange.
I was going to say
I haven't played
it, but Life is Strange.
Man of Medan was really good, but Life is Strange, I spent more time on Life is Strange. I sat down and played right through Man of Medan, and I was trying to do that with Life is Strange, but then there's just so many different things you could do, and I'm just like, this is so cool. And it's been out for how long, and I haven't played it, and I'm so mad that I didn't play it sooner.
And then it's been as long as I've worked at Five Guys. I remember my coworkers talking about it to death.
I'm so upset that I didn't play it sooner, because like I really like the characters. And obviously I won't. But and then I played the prequel to that one.
The Storm.
Yes. Oh my god. Emotions.
Do you play Chloe or do you play I can't remember her name right now.
You play Chloe.
No, I meant like you because I know the reason why you got into Life is Strange because you're in that Life is Stupid.
Yeah.
So you play Chloe.
Yes.
Okay, so you got to play Yo Girl when you played Before the Storm.
Yep. And at first it kind of lost, it didn't have the same charm because I had my brother in the room, and every time I have him do anything, I make stupid. We're all stupid when it happens. But then like, it was like the final scene of the fucking game and I was crying and I'm like,
Bruh.
Why? Bruh. But yeah, I'm really mad that I didn't play it sooner. It was amazing, and I want to play it more. And I'm actually planning on playing the second one soon, once the final episode drops. I know it's not the same people, like the same storyline, but I don't care. It was an amazing experience.
Right. Did you feel like it was weird having that whole voice actor change when you played Before the Storm?
I actually didn't notice it at first. I didn't notice it at all at first, and my brother said something like, no, it's not. And then I looked it up on IMDb, and I'm like, oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, Ashley Birch was not voicing Chloe again.
I felt like, and then after I realized that, I felt like the Before the Storm is definitely better than the first one. Absolutely. So once I hear like Chloe have that like tinge of crying in her voice, I almost start crying. Like, oh my god.
I know what you
amazing.
mean. Like when it gets to that point where characters start like you hear them crying, you almost kind of just sync up with them.
Yeah.
But that's
oh my god. It gave me chills.
You're an empath. That's
yeah, it's true. But it just gave me chills. The emotions are so much better than like the first one, and I'm like, oh my god, beautiful. I'm mad that I didn't play it sooner.
All right.
So yeah,
that was this is Life is Strange, because sometimes life is strange, or
life is fucked up, bro.
Or it's just or it's just fucking stupid.
Fucking stupid. The hell?
So, the game I wanted to talk about today was Yakuza 3, which I loved how not too long after the first Spoodcast, the fucking HD collection gets announced. Either it was a week later or a few days later. I can't remember which one. I just remember that it was announced not too long after, and then it was probably within the same week, because I remember I was going to try to finish GM18 episode 8, and then fucking Yakuza 3 rolls up, and I'm just like, bruh! So,
bruh.
I got what Amazon credit I got from a refund that I got, and bought some PlayStation Network gift cards, because I was a little strapped for money, and bought the digital collection for $60. And then I also pre-ordered the physical copy, which is going to come out like hella later in February or whatever, and it's going to be great, because the series is going from like the 3 through 5. That was all we needed to complete our experience, because otherwise they had 0, they have a remake of the first game, remake of the second game, and then they have the last game for the Kiryu series, which was 6, and all that we were missing was 3 through 5, and we just had to play on the PlayStation 3 otherwise. But the problem was the original Yakuza 3 on PlayStation 3 had a lot of missing content because they didn't want to translate it, or maybe they didn't feel like bringing it over to the West, so there was like a whole... One of the things that was missing was like this cabaret club minigame where you get to manage it, and you can make some real experience points out of it. And then there was actually going to the cabaret club itself as a customer. And what they did in the fucking cut content version on PS3 was they put the girls into the dating spot. See, you can go on after hours dates with the girls, and you'd meet with them in a spot. And what they did was put the girls already in the after hours spot, but they're just like, hey, you want to go on a date with me? So instead of making them like cabaret club hostesses, they just made them like fucking, I don't know, girls looking for a date.
random ladies that you just meet looking for a date.
In your local town, looking for you.
Hold on, are they cute?
Not the Okinawan girls. So in the game, you get to be in. For most of the series, you're in Kamurocho, which you can call like your New York or whatever. But then, like in the third game, Kiryu starts like running an orphanage in Okinawa. You know, a little bit more on the island coast kind of thing, you know, beaches and shit, people getting tan as fuck. And I'm not actually into, you know, the gyarus kind of thing. I don't really like them tan. I like them, you know, pure white as the snow kind of thing. It's just kind of the guy I am. But, you know, they grew on me. That's the thing. Like, you know, they didn't hit me right away, but then they talked and they were sweet, and I have a weakness for sweetness, as you already know. And, you know, they kind of just, you know, got me, and I'm just like, it's fine. Forget about whatever I said. Remember that part,
like that.
Remember that part,
ladies.
Dante?
Ladies be like that, though.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. It's a weird cutout, but we get the full game now, and it's in 60 frames per second. Like even the cutscenes, which, like in the case of Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami, on their previous engine, when it came to like I wouldn't say pre-rendered, but like the more like sharply, professionally cutscenes or whatever the fuck, those would start going back to 30 frames per second, while the gameplay and not traditional cutscenes would be at 60, and it was, you know, it was cool. But now it's all 60, even those cutscenes, and I think it's cool. But that was their first engine they ran on the PS3, so the things still look a little like
iffy, a little iffy.
It's like this, the transition from PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3 had it needed some work, but like, you know, they put a lot of focus on the women because they still they still look great as fuck. And, well, thankfully, Majima also still looks great, you know, so that's...
I, too, focus on the women.
Yes, I noticed. So, so far, the game, like, it runs kind of similar to the first, like, original PlayStation 2 Yakuza games, which was a great thing that I went back to play those first before I played the third one, because then, you know, I'm a little bit more familiar with it. Like, it's mainly just like the upgrade system and the enemy encounters so far, because the enemies, like, they all have like a section of the town that they stick in, and then when they see you, they run your way, and then you're fighting them. That's basically how it ran in the old games. Whereas, like, later on in the series, they actually walk around through town and then fight you. And then, like, in the latest engine, the Dragon engine, where shit looks really great, they'll fight you anywhere. Doesn't matter where the fuck you are. So, you know, they further expanded later on in the series, but at this time of the series, it's the traditional, like, they walk up to you and they fight you, bro. But in contrast to the original PlayStation 2 games, which would then, like, load the battle arena, which, like, you know, they black out the screen, load up the battle space. This one was when they started doing, like, they're gonna battle you right at the spot they need to fight you at, and boom, it starts right there.
Oh, okay. Yep. I like that.
Yep. And that's good. It feels good. There's a lot of blocking from these guys, so you get to learn this thing called the double finisher. So you hit square for like rush light attacks, and then you hit triangle for like the finishing heavy attack, and you get to learn where you can hit triangle twice, and there's a certain combo you just really need to do to break their guard, because they keep fucking guarding and it's atrocious. But it's making me like do other attacks that I never get to do, because, you know, I just, back in the day, I had a few tools and just use that, but this is really making use everything else.
It was a simpler time.
Well, considering they were the later on sequels, it's interesting to think about. But
yeah,
it's still fun to play. It still feels good to beat the shit out of people, because I love this series and it's fun to play no matter what time I start with. So there's all that.
I wanted to pick it up. I've definitely wanted to pick it up.
We did briefly talk about that during the 50th, or after the 50th episode. I know where Sean's coming from. I know what he says, like, to play with 1 or 2 and see the progression. I still start with 0. And then...
You know I'm always going to start with 0.
Yep, start with 0. then play Kiwami 1 and 2, and if you still want to go right into 3, go ahead. I'd say if you really want to go back and see how it originally started, because I feel like getting to know and get good with the later games actually helps you like blend in easier when you play the old games, and then you'll see how clunky it was back in the day or whatever the fuck. But it doesn't, for me personally, it does not deteriorate my experience.
I actually adapt very easily to playstyles.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that like some people do have like issues with it. Like my brother, he struggles with adapting to like the older Resident Evils or the newer ones or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I have no problem adapting. Like just okay, let's go, let's get into it. And
thankfully, for the most part, apart from like Yakuza 0, where the main protagonist Kiryu, like because he didn't have like his formal like fighting style in 0, it was still in the works. It's called the Dragon of Dojima. Otherwise, you start with like 3 styles: Brawler, Rush, and Beast, and then you learn the Dragon of Dojima, kind of, and then you like also relearn it in Kiwami 1. But then after that, it's like his main fighting style. It sticks with you throughout the series. So when you play as him, you're back at home. You know what to do. You know how to play this style. And if you play the original 2, you get to properly play through it, because for a brief digressing moment, I love the main style versus like the 3 styles they give you in Yakuza 0. So it really made me mad briefly when they kind of really nerfed it in Kiwami. And then even after you unlock all the upgrades, it still feels nerfed compared to like how it should play. So
it still feels off from what it should be.
That's one of the reasons why I really, enjoyed going back to Yakuza 1 after like playing, the remasters, because then I get to play with the fighting style that I've always wanted to play, and then spend more time with it because the upgrades center around that versus the other 3. That's my personal shtick. So, that being said, I'm really digging, being back at home with the fighting style being the main thing. I just want to unlock more of the fighting styles. In my last stream, I gotta upgrade everything to level 7 to learn this move where after you do like the triangle attack, if you hit circle, you can throw them. So you do a powerful attack and then you yeet them.
Get out.
It's one of my favorite things to fucking do. Just because like one of them is where he'll pick them up like over his head and crack their back and then throws them. I'm just like, fucking yes. So yeah,
that sounds satisfying.
I still have
sounds like I need that.
Yep. Unfortunately, in like Yakuza 1, it's like the last technique you learn. I'm just like, damn. They torment me. But yeah, so I'm just trying to get that. I've gotten back to Kamurocho in the story-wise, and it feels home. No matter how many times I go back to this place, it still feels like home. Even like seeing like it change throughout the times, or the different engines changing the buildings and shit, because you could tell what's been recycled throughout the series when it looks the fucking same in certain spaces.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I personally can't get tired of it. I know, like, I remember I can't get out of my head the fact that Sean's like, doesn't that get tiring? I'm just like, no. I love the series.
Certain games, you just don't get tired of seeing the same stuff. Like, for me, it's Twilight Princess. Like, I don't get tired of seeing that. I don't get tired of playing that.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many games that are just like, I don't get tired of it. I can't.
Yeah.
Non-existent.
So, like, when you play through the Yakuza series, and if you wanted to get into, like, Judgment, their spin-off, you're still in Kamurocho, but, it still feels like a whole new, freshening experience.
I saw stuff about that, and I was really interested in it.
Yeah. You don't have to have any real Yakuza experience to get into Judgment. Like, it really, the only thing you get is you're in the town of Kamurocho. Like, for Yakuza fans, it's like, hey, I'm back home, just with somebody else. That's it. And
my only problem is, like, when I go in on games, like, when I wanted to get into Metal Gear Solid, I bought, like, everything. So I can tell you right now, when I get into that, I'm gonna buy it all.
Look, the entire series is on PlayStation 4. This has never been a better time to get into Yakuza.
I'm turning on my PlayStation 4 right now.
Jesus
I
Christ.
just got paid. Don't test me.
Uh-oh. And guys, if you don't know this, but Diz is really bad with her money in video games.
I am. It's really bad. I've gotten better lately, actually. I've been putting a bunch of stuff into savings because of things I want to do. So, and I've actually been beating games, so that's cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, getting back to Kamurocho, I get to the hostess clubs there, and all the girls are fucking adorable. I mean, there's still a few short-haired girls, and I'm not into short-haired girls, so that's like...
That's a win. That's a win for me.
2 of them have been replaced because contracts expiration, and 2 of them are like hostesses I met back in like Kiwami 1 and 2. So you're just like, whoa! And I had this weird feeling that they might just be stand-ins, like they're just a mod or replacement, and like they have like the minor bit dialogue where like there's a whole bunch of text, but they just go, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like one of those things, and I feel like that's all that happened because the way they were acting felt weird. Like it didn't feel like it was them. This one hostess, Yui, you meet her in Kiwami, and she's all about like, if you request me and you spend a lot of money, I'm not gonna fall for you. Don't bother, just have a good time, spend cheap money. Meanwhile, the Yui I'm seeing in Yakuza 3 was like, I just saw this bag, I brought it to the counter, and I told him I want it, and I had him spend the money for me. It's like the polar.
That's a total, like, oh god.
Yeah, I was just like,
that's weird.
That is not the Yui I met. So, after some suspicion, I went on a date with the other hostess I met, Kana from Kiwami 2, who sounded really similar to the one, but then I realized, oh, it's not. So I took her out for karaoke, and she sang this one song that I liked, and I realized because I was once going through unreleased soundtracks from the game, because there's a lot of shit they didn't release on their official soundtrack, and one of them was this karaoke song called Where Has Your Touch Gone? It's like this nice, feely song. And I found this one vocalist that I really liked, and I was like, And then when Kana went to sing, it was exactly that same one. I'm just like, So I went on YouTube, and I looked up the original girl, and I read everything. I'm like, oh my god. Like, despite even, like, the weird English translation and how they originally named shit and did stuff in the weird cutout content version, it was exactly Riho. That's her name, Riho. Kana is just filling in for Riho. That's literally it. So, when Yui was being the exact polar opposite, it was whoever was in Yui's play, or whoever Yui took over for. So, it's not really Yui. And thank God, because I'm just like, my babe is not a shameless, she's not a gold digger. I can believe Kana to be the fill-in she is, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know if she was that dorky, but it's still cute. And seeing who she originally filled in for, I'm like, I prefer Kana over Riho. But, that's just how it is. That's just my personal taste. They're cute as fuck. They translated well into PlayStation 3. That literally, Yui was on the next engine from Yakuza, which would be starting from Yakuza 5. Yakuza 3 and 4 would still use the, I still roughly transitioned to PlayStation 3 engine. And then Kana was from the Dragon engine, their latest realistic-looking engine, and she still looked good. So,
nice.
It was nice. On my last stream, I was gonna go start on this next girl, who they mentioned out of their way that she's an Aquarius, and I'm like, I feel it. I feel like they're really sticking to the Aquarius astrology, because I can't fucking understand her at all. Like, I keep all these, like, the way the hostess work is, you order drinks and food, and they'll respond accordingly depending on whether they agree with your taste or not. And then they talk to you, and you have 3 options. And every time I pick an option, I either don't raise her bar at all, or I make her disappointed in me. I'm just like, bro, I don't know what you want. I can't read you.
I just want you to love me.
She's really fucking beautiful, and it's fucking feeling too real as fuck, man. So, yeah, that's been my experience with Yakuza 3 so far, Combat still feels good. Side quests go by quick. Girls are girls, and they're great, and they're sweet, and it's beautiful.
I think that's the only thing that scares me, is that there's a lot of side quests.
I mean...
And I do them all. It doesn't matter.
No, it's fine, because here's the thing. The side quests are fun and funny and great.
Oh,
like,
beautiful. I love it.
This game will reward you for doing it, and then you get to face a secret boss if you do all the side quests, so that's fun.
Looks like I'm facing a secret boss.
they're a little tough as nails, but, if you get good, you can, do it. I believe in you.
I gotta get good.
If I did it, you can do it.
Good.
But, yeah. So, it's a great series. Get into it, guys. If you haven't bought it already.
You underestimate how bad I am at video games.
Trust me, I've heard you. I don't need to know. I've heard it. All right.
True.
So that concludes our video game discussion corner. Let me take another swig. I haven't really taken many swigs since this Spoodcast started. By the way, we were drinking alcohol, guys.
I'm on the third one.
I was starting the third one, but I've been not drinking a lot.
I'm halfway through. I've had one pee break, but I'm good. As long as I don't stand up, I'm good.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm missing.
I'm a lightweight.
Hey! I got a Q, and I got an A. Put it all together, what does that spell? Q&A! So we're gonna do some questions and answers. Nobody on the live stream provided any, so it's fine. I had two prepped. When I don't have any questions, I go through my Ask FM, which is always filled with a ton of questions people ask, or maybe some automated robot does, because clearly all of them are anonymous. But there are some pretty deep questions, deep thinking questions.
Ooh.
The first question is, should people be given a second chance? I'll let you start, Diz.
Situationally, absolutely. I obviously, as you know, Dante, I have trust problems, so I'm iffy on who gets a second chance and why they're getting that second chance.
I agree.
Yes.
It's really situational based. Like, if you tried to do what you think was right, you may have been a little misguided, and I knew that you meant right. I'll eventually work it out and, cut you some slack. But if you really pull that shit again or try to backstab me again, I might, fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you, fool me once, shame on me. Whatever.
I feel like our answers are going to be very similar.
Probably,
Yeah.
The more, piece of shit you
we
go
are
about
the
it.
same. We're the same person, so.
That was one of the reasons why we became Libras.
That's true, Libra.
There are some people in this world that some people, maybe Diz and Richard, may not agree that I should have given a second chance, but I have. And, as long as they continue to prove that they were indeed sorry and they're trying to repent and show that they are working hard to prove that they were more than the mistake, then I say it's worth it. But, obviously, as I've mentioned, the moment they do try to fucking pull any of that shit again, or the things that might have hurt me before, yeah, I'm probably gonna fucking leg sweep you and fucking drop you to the ground and maybe throw a few fists verbally and be like, dude, fuck you, how dare you. So
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
It's definitely very situational based. But for the most part, I tend to give people second chances.
I feel like you're more likely to give second chances than I am.
Probably because,
yeah,
as some people might have said, I'm too fucking nice, and I think sometimes I do need to harden my balls and kick people in the face.
I've been too nice for too long, and if you fuck me over once, you have to build up that trust again, and it's gonna take a long time.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So the second question is, what small gesture from a stranger made a big impact on you?
Oh. I was having a rough night at work, and this guy, he was really sweet, and he was being super nice to me, and he's like, you should really smile. And I smiled at him, and he's like, there you go. And I'm like, oh, stop.
Oh my god, did this guy look handsome as fuck and had arms for days?
He was just a cute, he wasn't oh, I'm super fucking hot. He was just adorable. He was a sweet guy. You could tell he genuinely meant it.
Oh my god.
I was like, hey, did you want anything else today? And he was like, yeah, just a smile. And I'm like, don't say that.
Baka.
Don't say that. I got like super shy and yeah. That normally I get weirded out by it because sometimes when people like say that, they say it in a way that's like, oh wow, okay, you're a dick. Maybe I had a bad day, or like this guy he was super sweet, and I'm like, stop it, it's cute.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'd say my small gesture was this one time I was in an Uber car ride back home, and this guy, I guess he was talking about life with me. I don't know how we got to there, but sometimes I do have that conversation with Uber riders or drivers.
Yeah.
And, this was during my, 2019 transition from being, the Dante that was going through a lot in 2018 to, being the free man Dante that's really working hard to climb back up this year. And he gave me this perspective that you start your day the moment you step out of that door and someone asks, how's your day going? You can tell them the truth that, it's all right. My bank account's a little low. I'm struggling with my job. School's a little rough. You can tell them the honest truth. Or you could say, it's going great. It's dawntastic and it's going to be a good day. It's like the concept of, is the glass half full or glass half empty kind of thing. And it really started to register to me, I like that idea. Whenever I get into the car with any Uber driver and they ask how you doing, I say I'm dawntastic, no matter what. I could be having a day that's about to go wrong at work, but you know what? Fuck that,
I feel like it sets the bar.
Exactly.
Like what you're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
That piece of advice he shared with me really clicked, and so...
That's a really good way to think about it. Oh my god.
Yeah. Wake up in the morning, think to yourself it's gonna be a good day, and you'll carry yourself out better than if you said, I'm gonna fucking hate today. Because then you're already setting your expectations to be like shit. So, yeah. It was somewhere amongst those words that, he shared with me that really just, gave me to think a little bit more on the positive side of things, That was an expectation, or little gesture that I appreciated a lot.
That's nice, because that can be difficult. Sometimes it can be very difficult.
Well, there's some sort of word that you can get called if you are still able to smile despite all the pain, but I don't remember. But, yeah.
A bad bitch? That's my thing for everything, so don't mind me.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just stepping out of my house. I'm ready to be a bad bitch.
How are you today? Oh,
I'm a bad bitch. Jesus Christ.
And then you get out of the car. I hope you're a bad bitch today. Thank you. And then you walk away. It's like a way of saying have a good day. I hope you're a bad bitch today.
Wow.
Oh my god. Don't listen to me.
Not in a day in my life will I ever tell that to anybody. Except maybe my closer friends, possibly.
Yeah, I might say it to you just because you'll understand.
Wow. Christ!
Don't listen to me. I'm drunk. Don't listen to me.
Hi, drunk. I'm drunk, Tay. Or maybe not. What a drink. But that should be all for our Q&A. Remember, we can take, get to know me a little more about our Q&A or life advice Q&A. Always, I never ask you to leave comments, but if there was a time, this is one of those times. So, ask me something. I'll answer it. And then if I have a guest, they'll answer it with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll move on to our next part, but let me drink a little more before I do that. I'll totally be editing out with a piece of silence that's going to occur. What would you do if... Okay, so this next part of our Spoodcast is situational improv. Now, I already got to test this out with Zach, thanks to the original version. It's basically where, people leave something in the comments for me to do. Whether it be my first episode one was, guy is drinking coffee at a bar, but he's getting distracted by a pair of legs. And I had a whole internal monologue to myself about legs for a bit. Then for future reference could have been like a guy takes his girl on a date, but he forgot his wallet, but he's trying to make up an excuse on how to get her to pay or something like that. I don't know. They're making it all up on the fly. So it's very, just dialogue oriented. So the following situational improv is: customer enters a restaurant with menu items beyond his complete comprehension, and the person at the register has to explain what the fuck each menu item is. So, originally, I was the guy at the register, and Zach was the customer trying to figure out what the fuck my menu fucking means. And we had a good back and forth going on, but that's that. Diz, would you like to play the customer while I still try to be the guy at the register? Or would you like me to be the customer?
I don't know. Flip a coin. Do we have a coin?
Oh my god. Is that what we're fucking...
I have a bottle cap. Does that work?
Diz, I think you could be a good customer. I don't want to...
Alright, sweet. Let's go.
Alright, so let's get a little warm up. Breathe in, breathe out kind of thing, and when we're ready to go, I'll say action. Let's just give ourselves a moment.
You good?
I breathed in and I had to spit. Now I need to breathe in again, hopefully without any mucus. You good?
Yes.
Alright. And action. Hello! Welcome to Dilly Willy's Billy Jeans. I'm Dante. How can I help you?
Yeah, I was just wondering. So like the number one, does it actually come with the glass shards, or is that just the picture?
Oh, number one. The glass in my ass. The number one glass in my ass. It looks like you get glass shards, but it's actually a bunch of lettuce. We have a bunch of lettuce, and it's gotten really white. Like, it's really white lettuce. Usually they say hello to yellow and bye to white, but we found a way to make white lettuce actually edible and really good. So when you order the number one, your food is going to be a chicken breast that is surrounded by a bush of white lettuce, so much that it looks like a glass shard. It's also comes with a sprinkle of your topping of choice. You can have hot sauce, or you can have some salt. It's really decorative. It comes with a free side and a drink.
Oh, that's really nice. So do you freeze the lettuce to make it hard? Is it will I get stabbed?
The lettuce is, we don't have a freezer. We have a walk-in cooler. Everything is as fresh gets. It's just really white lettuce.
Oh, okay. What about the number two? The number two, it looks a little questionable. It looks kind of like a volcano, but it's yellow. I don't know what's going on there.
The number two, the Xing Chong Fei Shay, is one of our spiciest dishes, so much that the chef had the idea of making it look like a volcano, but it's a pasta volcano.
Does it come with the fire extinguisher, or?
The fire extinguisher was there as an ornament to give you the idea that it's going to be so spicy, your mouth will be on fire, and you'll wish you had a fire extinguisher to put it out. But rest assured, the fire extinguisher is a metaphor for we'll give you a free cup of milk.
I didn't know if it was BYOFE, bring your own fire extinguisher, so I did bring my own just in case, Is that okay? I just wanted to make sure it was okay to bring in my own stuff.
Madam, as long as you just, don't use that, because chemical cross-contamination is a really bad thing to bring in a restaurant. By all means, you can have your fire extinguisher in the restaurant. I'm sure my manager will not have a heart attack.
Speaking of heart attack, that's the number 6, right?
Right, the number 6, the Salty Balties, are a heavy salt type of dish. You know, we have some really Greek-like fries. They're pretty salty, and it comes served with a bowl of not cup of noodles. It's totally not a cup of noodles, but that's what they want to make you think. But it's ramen. Some nice salty ramen with Greek French fries. It's really salty. I assure you, as long as you have good cholesterol, you will not suffer an actual heart attack. Although it is definitely decked out with everything in there. It's a guy's number 1 sober food.
You know, I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the number 6 because I've always wondered what it would be like to have a heart attack. So I think I'm ready for that.
I assure you won't have a heart attack, but by all means, the number 6. Would you like a drink to go with that?
Absolutely. Do you have anything that's, like sugar-free, but also like has a little sugar in it?
Madam, you were asking for the legitimate impossible. I'm not sure if I can help you with that. Although I have heard that we have a drink that is at least 10% sugar. It's called the Little Bitsy Pipsy Bipsy.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds great. Yeah, I like that.
All right, so you're having yourself the number 6 and the Little Bipsy Pipsy Whipsy. Your total is going to be at least $12.43. Will you be paying with cash or card?
Do you take fire extinguisher?
Madam, I don't think we need a replacement fire extinguisher. Are you sure you don't have any actual cash on you or a card? Did you just come to this restaurant with just a fire extinguisher?
I mean, I was pretty sure that's all I needed. And just in case there was a fire anywhere, you just never know.
Well, we did almost had a fire earlier this morning. Patrick kind of forgot that you shouldn't be screwing around with a grill that has a lot of grease. So, you know what? He did use our previous fire extinguisher, and we were gonna go order a new one. So you know what? You're gonna be that lucky person that gets this meal in the house because you gave us your fire extinguisher.
Sweet.
I hope you didn't use any of it because we're definitely.
I did not.
We're definitely going to be using all of it later tonight. I mean, yes, thank you for your fire extinguisher. Here you are. Here's your receipt. You'll be order number 747.
Oh, one more quick question.
Yes.
Patrick who?
His name is Patrick Millywings.
Oh, him. I see.
Madam, do you happen to know Patrick Millywings?
Yeah. I've actually been looking for him for a long time because I'm an undercover cop.
Wait, hold up, what?
I am an undercover cop. Yeah, he's been hiding from me for about 12 years.
Wow, what crime did he commit? Did he burn things?
Well, I mean, that and a little bit of piracy and, public intox.
Well, arg, mate. Well, he's actually on his break right now, so, if you wait out and get your meal, I'm sure he'll be back on time for you to arrest him.
Alright, I'm cool with that.
Sweet. Thank you for your business, and thank you for saving us from future fire accidents.
Absolutely. Only you can prevent, fryer fires.
Yep. Alright. Have a good one.
Yeah, thanks.
Scene.
So, how was that, bud?
You gave me some fucking material to work with. The glass of shards, the volcano, the fire extinguisher.
Yes.
Can I pay with my fire extinguisher?
Can we talk about that plot twist real quick?
Yeah, the fucking Patrick, the fucking pirate arsonist here. Arsonist.
Yes. I didn't even know that was gonna happen. I didn't know that was gonna come out my mouth.
Well, look, we were both drinking and we were improving. I expected shit to flow.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Fucking...
We worked well together.
I could see that. Fucking Zach, when we did this, was throwing basketball references my way, and I'm just like, how do I work with this? Fuck! He was like trying to get some Jordans for his meal, and I'm just like, ah! And he's like, I'm like, are you trying to order shoes at a restaurant? Do you also try to buy clothes at the soup store? And then he calls for the manager, and I'm like, I'm the manager. Oh, I want to speak to your general. I'm the general manager. How about your regional manager? He's on vacation.
Oh my god.
And then the one where I actually broke character was, he was like, you have any tacos? Well, yes, we have the wrap from down under.
Oh no.
Oh.
I try to think of the stupidest shit because obviously we've worked in food service.
Yup.
I was trying to find the stupidest shit to say. Oh my god.
Yep, I felt like, given the fact that I always played, like, the straight man in comedy, that I definitely should have been, like, the cash register person or whatever the fuck. Fuck.
I think it worked out well.
Yes, it's a good work. Remember, guys, if you do have your own personal suggestions, excuse me, I burped, that will also be, I also encourage you to drop it in the comments, whether it be a solo monologue in case I do next episode by myself, or something two people can do. Let us know, and we'll work with it, because improv is fun.
It is. It's been so long. It's been since high school since I've actually, like, sat down and did a scene with somebody, like, actually kind of planned out, like, guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so long. So I was a little nervous. I'm like, I'm rusty. I'm really rusty.
You still got it. It's fine.
Yes. Go.
All right. Without further ado, it's time to talk about some updates.
Updates?
Hello, this is your Dante. It's time to update. Beep boop 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 boop. So, Diz, you weren't on the last Wardcast, so tell us. Sorry, Sean. tell us about your updates. What are you working on? What's going on so far?
Actually, right now in my documents, it's up. Like right before this started, I was writing on episode 2 of Until Dawn, my Until Dawn parody. So that's happening.
You've also you've been working on Dork, I heard.
Yes, Dork. I wrote 2 episodes in one day. I was doing drugs that day, apparently.
Clearly. I still...
Yeah.
Once you get around to getting, like, episode 2 released, I'll definitely, like, be sure to, like, open up and get recording on that.
I'm not too, like, pushy on that for right now, but do you want to see the scripts? Because they're fucking gold. Probably. I don't know what I was on. They're gold.
Like later on, I'll be sure to take a look at it.
They're amazing.
I'll get back to you on that later. I promise I will. I said I promise. That means I won't forget.
And I had some casting issues apparently with Until Dawn because I didn't save the casts from earlier, so they're incomplete.
Oh.
I have half the cast filled in, and I don't remember who I had playing who. So
I think you wanted me to play a white guy, that's all I know. With a green jacket, I think.
Mike. Yes. Yes! Oh! You made me remember!
Is that one of the roles you forgot?
Yes.
You forgot that I played Mike?
It wasn't filled in!
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dante.
It's fine. I made you remember, so you're welcome. What can I say except
Yeah, I had some casting problems with that. I fucking didn't save it, apparently. So now that I have that, that's cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, but other than that, I just have to get footage, which is really easy, because it didn't take me long last time. I just forgot to turn off the tutorial. Forgot to turn off the tutorial and the subtitles, so just gotta go back and do that, and it'll be fine. It's fine.
Yeah, you got this. It doesn't take long to record things.
The only thing that makes me a little nervous is because I don't have a lot of experience in it, is the editing. But I am fucking determined. I will do it.
I mean,
I will.
If you want any advice on editing, or if you want to pick up on my style or whatever, by all means, hit me up and I'll drop my 2 cents on how to get by without killing yourself.
Thank you, because I already feel like I'm gonna kill myself.
Well, shit.
Because it's like the perfectionist kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean. I showed you. I showed you Devil May Cry episode 7.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the perfectionist kind of thing. And also, like, I'm still kind of inexperienced, so I'm just like, oh god, I'm gonna kill myself trying to get what I want. I know this, but it's fine. Sean actually asked me if I was gonna edit Dork episode 3, and I said yes, I'm going to. My main intent was to edit episode 2, but I fucked up the timing, and something happened. I don't remember what the rest happened, but I messed up the timing. But other than that, it was okay. It's not bad.
Oh, that's right. You guys do things just a little differently. Like, machinima style versus me just doing the way I do things. That's
doing shit.
That's another discussion for later. But yeah.
Oh, I scrapped the Spider-Man thing.
Oh, did you? Oh man.
I did.
I'm not gonna be Spider-Man.
I didn't. I mean, you could still be Spider-Man if you wanted to write it.
Okay, but that means now I gotta make a Spooderman.
Well, like, my main issue was, like, I didn't have anything written, it didn't have names, so I didn't really lose anything. I just kind of cut some work off.
I mean, I don't know, maybe I will make a Spooderman, a Spood. Just you guys wait. Fund my Patreon so I can get the time. Wait, what?
Don't worry, I'm already funding you.
Okay. Right, yeah, I appreciate you. Anything else?
I'm doing more voice work for Alec tomorrow. It's small things. Just little background characters.
Yeah,
but,
he had to do it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's it.
Okay. So, for those of you who were on any of Dark Abridger's social medias, y'all know that I finished writing Season 1 for GM18.
Woo!
And I finally released GM18 Episode 8, which was like a few weeks ago, which was 1 week after I said I'd try to get it out, but you know, voice actors still need their time, so that's that. But hey, look, the rest of the season has been written, and that's a good thing. So, a few days ago, I finished deciding who's going to be voicing what. Like, I put all the highlights and shit, considering that's like 70 pages of dialogue to go through. That's a lot. So, I just need to start, adding my specific directions to all of those 70 pages. Like, we're talking, when I say 70 pages, I mean like episode 9, 10, 11, and 12. 70 pages total. And then I need to make sure that the songs I have for the following episodes have been like solidified, so when I send practice tracks to my voice actors, they know what they gotta do. The last episode, I just figured out what song I want to use as like the base for the parody, so now I just need to write lyrics and record a practice track, and then
I give you mad props for that, honestly. Like, I don't think I could do that. That's a mad props to you.
Thanks. It's it's crazy. So
I bet.
So after I get for the most part, my directions and songs all like solidified, I'm gonna send it to my voice actors and actresses. Hope all of them still exist, because as far as casting goes, I just kept it within the main cast to voice like any etc. rule parts or side characters, just to avoid like getting outside help and then potentially just not having them, because when I reached out to a lot of them, to the outsides ones, they never got back to me. So I'm just trying to like cut down on going around by using the main cast. So hopefully they're all still with us, because it was a year since I sent episode 8 script, and then took a year to get it done. But yep, that's what's going on for right now. And as you guys already know, I have this weekend off, so obviously the first thing I will take care of is getting the Spoodcast out here and on YouTube. And then after that, I'm going to try to do the GM18 work. And if I still have some time, I'm going to try to get the get some bloopers out for people who threw in $15 at the DarkAbridger Patreon thing and make their money's worth. I'll probably be streaming that so people know that I'm working, and that's my best way to like get me active without getting sidetracked on everything else, because if I'm streaming, y'all know that I'm doing work and I don't want to sidetrack at all. So yeah, that should be pretty much it. If I can get all that shit done, you know, I could start focusing on writing scripts for my Resident Evil 1, the PS1 version, and then work on the remake version. And then I wanted to do Devil May Cry 1. For Silent Hill, because that was the one I actually made the most progress on. Like, I got most lines. I just need my James to finish doing his lines. I listen to every podcast he does where he gives updates, and I hear he's doing more of his lines. So, so I know he's working. So, we're just waiting for him to send his lines, and then I can get started on editing my Restless Nightmares. Dirty Little Sinners for Silent Hill 2 and all that jazz. So, otherwise, that's all I got for updates. Yahoo!
Nice.
All right, so that should be the end of episode 2 of this Spoodcast.
2.5.
2B, because 2A, the A stands for abyss, because it fell into the abyss. Fuck technology, fuck power outages, and fuck shit for freezing up.
Fuck the system.
Fuck it for freezing up on me and then making me lose my entire data. But as you know, I don't ask for like, comments, or subscribing. None of that shit. I don't do that. That's not my stuff. But if you want to support me on Patreon, it's in the description. And yeah, that's really it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember, when you crossing the street, you have to cross when you're supposed to cross. If you don't do it, that's called jaywalking. Jaywalking does not mean walking in a J. It means crossing the street when it says walk. That's illegal. Don't do it.
If you want to be a cool kid, you'll support him on Patreon. Like me. I'm the coolest motherfucker out there, okay, bud?
Wait, never mind. I know how to actually end this. I hope you be a bad bitch. All right, bye.
Yes.
La vérité finit toujours.